Things I had to unlearn as an adult. Number 5, being busy is a badge of honor.
Oh my God. Everyone wants to feel busy. I feel like I'm actually getting something done.
It makes you feel important.
What do you mean it's not a badge of honor? What do you mean?
It's not a badge of honor because being busy doesn't allow you to invest time in like being with yourself or finding the moments to enjoy and stopping to enjoy the little things in life. So we find people that are generally busier are literally like masking other things. Like, I have to be busy because I want this money, so this money can make me happy. But at the end of the day, when you go on vacation, you're happy for like 10%, like 10 days out of the year. And then you come back to your sad, miserable life of being busy. Like, it's not a badge of honor being busy. You can be busy doing nothing.
You can be busy. You can be busy doing nothing. Confession. So at work, people often say, you're a hard worker. You work hard, because I'm always at work. And that's puzzling to me, because I'm always at work. You see me as a hard worker. And for me, I am thinking I have less time for myself. My life is out of balance. I am not doing what I should be doing. I am not pursuing my interests. I may pursue it now and then, but like the balance I want to create, I'm actually not creating, and I'm very busy. That is being busy.
That is being busy.
Yeah.
But it's not a badge of honor.
It's not.
Because there's a difference between being busy during a phase of your life because you're working towards something, so you're working to make money so you can get more settled, but at the end of the day, you cannot do it for much longer. And there's also the saying that sleep is for the dead. No, you need your sleep.
Yeah.
You do need your sleep. I remember in university, I was really, really busy. And when a corona actually came, a lot of people were like, oh, we can't go out. I was grateful to be in because I was busy. I was at a point where I was planning huge programs, a lot of programs. I was doing stuff every week. I was very involved in extracurricular. I was trying to, get to my final year. I was overcompensating a relationship that should have ended. And it was so much of a burden for me. I was super, super busy. And I remember there was one year in second year where I stopped sleeping some nights because I was busy trying to do this, busy trying to do that. And that affected me to the point where I still like to fall asleep is hard. And when I do, it's like I shake in my sleep. And that affected me physically because I wasn't eating well, I wasn't sleeping well. And I promised myself I'll always try to find that balance of not being too busy to take care of myself, to sleep, to eat, and to be able to find quiet times to rest. So being busy isn't a badge of honor.
No, it's not a badge of honor. And sometimes when persons ask, how are you? I said, I'm functioning. Because when you're so busy, you're just functioning. Your systems are just working because they're supposed to be working. But it's like you're surviving instead of living.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not a badge of honor. Like, you should have time to leisure, you should have time to sleep, you should have time to eat, you should have time to cook your favorite meal, you should have time to go out with the persons that matter, you should have time to have conversations with people that matter, and you should have time for yourself. Yeah.
And with that, things I had to unlearn as an adult. Number 4, adults have it all figured out. We do not.
I mean, thank you all for actually selling adulthood well, because we think that you all had it figured out. Like, everything was so good and we couldn't wait to cross over to the side of adulthood, but
yeah. We do not have it all figured out. Like, I always looked at my mom like she's a strong woman, and you know, she knows the answer to everything. And as a child, like, every time I got into trouble, my mom always knew. I'm a terrible liar, so she probably knew I probably told her anyway. But I felt like she had it all figured out. Like, if I made a wrong step, the community people would tell her too. Thank you very much. but I felt like she had it all figured out. But as an adult, grow up, now we're closer, she'll be like, Ayana, you think I should do this? You think? I'm like, we actually don't have it all figured out. We're more confused than ever.
Yeah, I'm like, I cannot parent you.
And as kids, it's so simple for us because we have this strong belief system, like, this is what I'm supposed to do, so I'm gonna do it. But as adults, it's like, oh, you're so aware of the grays. It's not black and white. You're trying to take everything into consideration. You have so much more responsibilities than you would have as a kid. So there's so much more burden with a decision. If it goes wrong, then the weight of that responsibility is on your shoulder. So we don't have it all figured out, and we have so many decisions to make.
Hey people, I am Stephanie Bennett, and adulthood is a trial and error. Would you say it is?
It is a trial and error. It's very ghetto.
It is a trial and error. Some decisions we make work, some doesn't work, and I think in the early part of adulthood, I used to be so hard on myself when I make a decision that I think didn't align with actually what I want. But I think now, having journeyed through life, I give myself more grace. Like, I'm more graceful. I'm like, oh, you'll get it better next time. Oh, you're learning this. You're just learning that. So adulthood is really trial and error. And you will not have it all figured out because, life changes. It's a journey. Like, there's a length of years before me, and I just cannot figure out everything now. And I really just cannot learn everything now in my 20s. Absolutely not. I think we have so much expectations of ourselves. That's the issue.
Yeah, we should have it all figured out, but we don't.
No, we don't.
And experiences are what makes the journey. So in experiences, we're gonna have shortfalls.
Yeah,
and that's just how it is.
I think your perspective of what life is, I think that's what makes the journey beautiful. Life is hard, but like, you can have good days. Yeah. Like, you can make life what it is. It doesn't go as planned, and this didn't go well today, but that doesn't mean I'm going to make one experience or one circumstance control my other 2 years ahead of me, or my next week, or how my days go, because it's actually in your interpretation. Like, there can be circumstance and experience, but like, how you react to it is basically based on your interpretation of the event.
Yeah. And that is so important. Like, our perspective on things are what really makes the difference. Things I had to unlearn as an adult. People are my savior.
Listen, Ayana, I think we can attest, like, for young people like you and I who have migrated, that people will not be your savior.
No, they will not.
I think I have learned more of people will not be your savior since I migrated. I don't know about you, but I think I've learned so much.
It's more isolating.
Yes, it's more isolated, and it's like, you're here. This is you. Like, this is the road. Like, what are you gonna do on this road? Like, it's only you. And there is nothing wrong with seeing as it's only you and there is no one around, or especially if you're in a state where you don't have anybody familiar or any family members.
Yeah, it's so difficult when you finally realize that the people that you expect to help you or you look to save you aren't actually gonna be the people that do. Like, strangers can be kinder than those you expect to be kind to. And it's not to say to bash the people around us. It's just circumstances. Sometimes you're just going through it as well, and it's just life. But it's not to say that we're an island, right?
No.
It's not to say we're standing alone and we don't have people who help. We have people who help. We are not saying that we don't need help. What we're saying is that nobody's you should not give anybody the power either to save you. You should not be looking for the savior in other people. Look for that in God, please. And there's a TikTok video that says like nobody's coming, and I feel that video every single time I watch it. I feel that video like nobody's coming. Nobody's coming to tell you to get up. Nobody's telling you it's meal time. Nobody's coming to tell you it's time to study. Nobody's telling you it's time to go to work. Nobody's telling you have to go to work. Nobody is coming. You are it. Like you
are the savior. You are the central person in your life who's gonna take your life to the next level. I'm not looking at Ayana is gonna help me with this. No, Sudani is gonna do this for herself.
Nobody is coming, and that's adulthood. It's not anything against the people around us. It's just the recognition that you now stepped into the phase where you are independent, ma'am. You didn't want your independence, sir. You are now independent. So that's just how it is. You have to control, to take control, and that control comes with the weight of responsibility of decisions. And you're gonna make some good ones, you're gonna make some bad ones, and there's just always that flux like, oh my gosh, I don't want to make a mistake, but
it's trial and error.
As
an adult, I'm going to make this decision and I'm going to see how it turns out without asking the approval of my parents, of my friends, because it's just me, and it's just me that is actually here. Yeah.
So nobody's coming. Things I had to unlearn as an adult. Number 2, I am the way I am because of a person or a circumstance.
Parents often say to children, you're coming just like your papa. You're coming just like your papa, because they probably have like qualities of the other person. But I think that so many times we ascribe what we have been through and our circumstances to how we actually are. It's because of John make me stay so. It's because of Tom make me stay so. But like as an adult, like it's my responsibility to actually change how I am reacting to the traumas that I would have experienced, to the circumstances that I would have experienced. Of course, I didn't cause these traumas. I didn't cause these experiences or the events that have been chaotic or hurtful to me, but it is my responsibility to ensure that I turned out differently than the circumstances offer.
Yeah. And I listened to something once that says that it's not your fault that it happened, but it's your fault if you do not change. It's not your fault that you went through a lot of stress and trauma. It's not your fault that you were abused. It's not your fault that you were raped. It's not your fault that you had to go through an abusive relationship. It's not your fault that you had a bad mother or father. It's not your fault that you had a child early. It's not, well, it's your fault.
For some people.
For some people, that is your fault. But it's not your fault that you didn't know all these things from earlier. But it is your fault if you don't get better and you don't change. Because as much as your circumstances happen to you, you shouldn't allow it to shape your future. Don't be so stuck in the past that your past becomes your future and the cycle of it continues. Ensure that you are the one who break the chain of whatever trauma you've experienced or whatever trauma you and your family have been through. So stop ascribing the blame and accept the responsibility that however hard it must be, you are the one who has to change, even if it's really hard, because sometimes it really is hard to change.
Yeah, it really is hard to change. And I mean, being committed to change is like a job. Like, you have to get up every day and decide that I am riveting the effects of these trauma from my life. Like, it's a everyday work. And like, some persons like cannot be committed to change, but like, if you have something within you that you need to change, like, you have to get up every day and work at it. And I mean, like, in changing, because I would have gone through a lot of changes, probably you would have. And I mean, like, in the middle of changing, it seems so hard and it seems so difficult, and there are so many things rearing its head up, but like, at the end of the journey, it's a beautiful journey. I am glad that I changed.
Yeah.
I am glad that I make changes, because then it is actually influencing my decisions for the future and actually influencing my future.
Last week I was having this conversation with two of our friends, Jency and Cynthia, and we went to this youth group forum at Harvard Town. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, in Philadelphia. We had a conversation about friendship, and I don't remember what I was saying, but I remember saying that I was an angry person. Like, I was an angry child. I had a lot of outbursts, and that was due to the fact mainly because I had a hard life, like, from very early, and so I was a very angry person. And one of Jency was saying, like, she cannot imagine me being angry right now. I do get angry sometimes, but she cannot imagine me being like angry and having outbursts. But once upon a time, it was a regular thing for me, and I realized that I had to change. Like, I couldn't change the past, but I had to change who I was and how I responded to other people. I mean, you can't change or control what others have done to you, but you can change is how you respond. You can't control others, but you can control yourself. Yeah. So that is number 2. You have anything more?
No, I don't.
All right. Number 1, people. Number 1.
We're at number 1.
Number 1, things I had to unlearn as an adult. It's never black and white. Like, life is 1,000 shades of gray. Like, it's never black and white. It's never just black and white. And as a child, it's easier because your parents instilled in you that it's a black and white world. Like, you obey your parents and everything will be good, or you disobey and everything is bad, and you have those guidelines to live by. But as an adult, when you realize that life is never black and white, and that's how you're able to understand people and why they do the things they do, because you understand that it's not face value, and there are different things influencing the way people treat you or the way you respond to things, because it's never just surface level. It's never black and white. There's always a lot of explanation, lots of gray behind it.
Yeah, when I hear about life is never black and white, I am thinking about, like, persons think this is the only way you should behave. In this circumstances, this is the only gateway to get this. This is the only gateway to get that. But I mean, there's so many maneuvers in life, so that when you actually maneuver to somewhere and then it's black, you don't think there is actually no other way. And you maneuver somewhere and it's white and you think there is no other way. Like, there are gray areas that you can actually go through. And I'm also thinking about the fact that black and white is like, life is full of these rules, and it means there is no other way than sticking to these rules.
Yeah.
But I mean, life is like a guideline. It's a trial and an error, and it has its gray areas and why people do things, and there are other reasoning for what happens.
Yeah. So it's never like black and white. There's always a lot of explanations behind things and the reasons people do things. And our perceptions are often shaped by the things that we've been through.
And socialization. Because we
yeah.
can be taught that life is black and white, but then when you come, you're like, oh, there was another way to get around. It's like a GPS.
Yep.
So you think there is only one way to get to Westchester. There is only one way to get to Westchester, but then when you put in the GPS, the actual location, you see more than one way, and there is even a highway, or do you want to take the highway or the byway? Do you want to go do you want to go locally? So it's never just one way. It's never just black and white. Like, there are other ways.
Yeah. There are definitely other ways, and people think, oh, look at them, they've been in the black and white, they went to school, they got a job, but to be honest, it was a lot of grace that got us here. It was despite of our circumstances,
and we still have gray areas,
and not because of them.
Yeah.
So it's never black and white. It's never just one way to do things or one way to get where you want to go, or things aren't as face value as they seem. Like, people do things because of maybe how they're feeling or what they've experienced in the past, or just their level of morality. Like, it's never black and white.
And so you don't have to do what Ayana and I do, and we can still end up with the same results.
Yeah.
That's basically, we can end up with the same results even though you don't do what Ayana and I do.
Different paths lead to the same destination.
Yeah, that's the sum up.
Yeah. So, guys, we have gone through 10.
That's 10.
Oof, talking for a long while. 10 things that we had to unlearn as an adult. And we're both like mid-20s. Instead of mine, she thinks she's near 30. But we're both mid-20s, and we're going through
adulting.
We're adulting, and
beautiful
if
word.
you haven't heard some of these tips that you thought you would hear, you can drop it down in the comment below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, guys. Click that notification bell. Stay positive. So you can be notified when we upload another video. So to recall our 10 things that we had to unlearn: get an education so you can get rich. Work hard, because hard work leads to success. No, work smart, not hard.
I can love enough for the both of us. No.
Number 7, money is meant to be saved. Nah, money is meant to be invested and managed.
Yeah, use your 2 financial strategies: saving and investing.
Number 6, it's too early or too late.
It's never too early. It's never too late to start anything that you actually want. Just start it. Just step out in faith.
Number 5, being busy is a badge of honor.
No, being busy means that your life is out of balance. It should be very worrying. It's not a badge of honor.
No.
Not for me.
Number 4, adults have it all figured out.
We are all in a maze puzzle. We are trying to get through the maze just to find the beautiful ending. And it takes a while, and on the journey, enjoy being lost, right? Yeah, enjoy having to take the detours and the U-turns. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of detours and U-turns, and that's fine. Like, you'll end up at the destination you want, but it just involves detours and U-turns.
Yeah.
Yep.
Number 5, people are my savior.
No one is coming to save you.
Number 3, right? Sorry.
Oh.
No one is coming to save you, yeah.
And there's actually nothing wrong in doing it alone. Like, I found that doing it alone actually pays off, because then I get to trust my discernment and my wisdom more.
Yeah. Number 2, I am the way I am because of people or circumstances.
You just cannot change what actually happens to you, the circumstances and the traumatic events, but it is your responsibility to change in the person that you actually want to become.
Yeah. Number 1, it is always black and white. That's what I had to unlearn. So it's never black and white.
Life is not purely rules, but it's just guidelines, and you have to have trials and errors, and you're gonna have gray areas, but you just have to trust God that you actually have a plan for your life.
And with that, friends, we end. Remember always to like, share, and subscribe. And of course, comment below. This was Speaker Truth the Untold. This was Yanna Positive and Sudi B.
Sudi Positive.
Sudi Positive.
I may just start a YouTube channel.
Oh, Sudi Positive. We're looking forward to our YouTube channel. We're gonna hold our account to it.
Wow.
We're gonna hold her accountable. And this was an Irish space of inspirational,
relatable,
empowering, and elevating
elevated
content. See you guys next time, same place, every day practically at 8. So
yeah.
see you all there. Thanks for joining and thanks for watching. Goodbye.